Mike, are you ready for Dreams and Feelings?
Yes, Adam. And I believe you were just finishing the story about how not only is the pray and spray technique your video game technique,
Yes.
but also your bathroom technique.
And coincidentally, my baptism technique.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. We've been doing these things out here called drive-by baptisms, where we'll fill super soakers with water, bless them, and then drive by and just shoot college students.
Yeah, sneak them into heaven.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We can't talk them into heaven. We might as well sneak them in.
Yeah, skip the talking step.
Right. Forget personal relationships.
They don't know what they want.
They don't even need to hear the gospel.
No. You say the words, bam. They'll thank you later.
Right, that's what I'm saying. My biggest fear is someone to take that conversation out of context and then, get me fired.
Right. My biggest fear is that someone would take a blimp filled with water and go over a football game.
A blimp full of water?
Yes.
How would it fly?
Rockets. But and then they'd say, "Oh, we just saved 6,000 people."
Right.
And then we have to tell them the truth.
Right. See, when you said blimp full of water, I thought you meant the balloon part. The balloon part was filled with water.
Well, I was imagining that, which means I don't know how science works.
Yeah, that's not how blimps work at all.
How do you fly something and fill it with water?
You can't.
You can't?
Maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you fill a jet and it has or a giant cargo plane and you fill its hold with water, but I don't think you can make a giant water balloon.
Air Force One with a super soaker.
Exactly. Showing those heathens what. So, it's another exciting. What episode number is this? Is this
38.
Man, rapidly approaching middle age.
Yep. And to reiterate, like us, please.
Yes.
If you do like us.
On our various postings.
If we had a sweepstakes last week, then please contribute by posting a comment.
Yes.
Tell us what a blue turtle shell would be made out of.
Right. We're still pushing that hard. I've had some conversations with people IRL, but I encourage them to post.
IRL.com?
IRL.com.
Oh.
But yeah, I think we'll do one last push for it, and then maybe next week we'll get down to it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there is a website called Christian Geek Central that's gonna post our sweepstakes.
Oh, really?
Hopefully, up our subscribers so our other 16 subscribers have someone to talk to.
Right.
Be friends. Form relationships.
Right. Nothing weird though.
Nothing weird. And I also found out that the one guy who keeps posting amazing vid.
Yeah.
I think he's a robot. Yeah, so...
Mike, you found out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I don't think someone believes our vid is amazing.
It's just a bot.
It's just a bot trying to get some sales.
Amazing vid. We should put that on a t-shirt.
Amazing vid.
Just a robot with a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Amazing vid.
I'd buy it.
Me too. Oh, man. Are there any other housekeeping things you want to get to before I start a rant?
Oh, gosh.
I have something very upsetting.
No. Let's see.
It's of a more personal nature, but that's fine.
No, I'm good. Go right ahead.
Okay, Mike.
What?
I got a bone to pick with you.
No!
Actually, it's pretty funny. So, consecutively over our last couple podcasts, it's come to light that I have a relationship outside of us.
Yes, it's true.
Shout out to Megan. But you got me in trouble, Mike.
No!
You got me in trouble.
No, my beautiful words, carefully chosen, have gotten another person in trouble?
Yeah, Mike. Way to go.
No.
And I fully accept that it was my words that got me in trouble, but you put me in the situation, Mike.
It's the quiz, wasn't it?
It was more the fact that I called her my lady friend.
Lady friend?
Yeah. And or ball and chain.
I thought that was the millennial way of saying you're in love.
Right, that's what I thought too.
No.
Apparently she did not feel kind.
Oh, no. Well, maybe now's a good time to find a safe millennial word that means
Right.
you're in a relationship.
Right. No, I feel like that's a discussion worth having, because talking with other college students, the biggest thing that people are not the biggest, but one of the big things that college students are struggling with in terms of like romantic relationships is it's not defined, right?
It's not defined.
And they're like, are we just hanging out?
A DTR.
A DTR, exactly.
Yes.
My personal favorite is one that I came up with, and I call it we're just fellowshipping.
Yes.
But I feel like we need a nice, safe, Christian, millennial word for dating. Because girlfriend is so, like, I don't know.
It's so dirty.
Esoteric.
Yes, so pop culture.
Right.
Ouch. Let's see. The side hug partner.
Side hug partner. Why?
I hear you have a SHP.
Is that side hug partner?
Yes. It's not as catchy. It's
No,
hard to say.
It's a little weird.
It also sounds dirty.
Yeah. It sounds like a disease.
It does sound
You
like
got the SHP, I'm sorry.
Your test has come back, Mike. It's you're positive for SHP.
No!
We're gonna have to call in.
Yes. What's a word that means you can casually take them out to movies?
Friend.
Friend.
Courting.
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 Also too old school.
Courtesan.
We can't call them courtesans, Mike.
Courtesans. Okay.
Mike, do you know what a courtesan is?
I thought I just made that word up.
No.
Am I gonna find out I didn't?
It's Cartesian, but
Yeah, it's close enough.
I thought it sounded like a sandwich, but
No,
please go ahead.
It's a have you played Assassin's Creed?
Oh no!
You know those ladies that you can hire to like distract the guards because they're dressed scantily?
Oh no!
Those are courtesans.
Because they
or courtesans.
evangelize.
And they are ladies of the night.
Oh, so they do ministry at night.
Yes, they do.
They hand out tracts.
So I'm like, we can't call girls that.
No. Okay. All right. Honest mistake. All right. Oh gosh. I don't know where to go with that. We need a safer word.
A much safer word.
Let's see.
Like courting is like a 10 for like safety, and like courtesan is like 1.
Yes. So I guess a 5 would be. Well, she's a girl.
Right.
You can't have
Or
this
boy.
word with boys.
I mean,
Well,
if
unless-
you're a girl?
If you're a girl, okay, so it has to be opposite gender.
Right. So it has to be modifiable. Like.
It has to have the word mean affection,
Right.
but equal.
Right.
Infection.
Infection.
Yes.
Let's see.
Life partner. No.
That's what I call Andre and Caleb. My platonic life partners.
Oh gosh.
Life part. That's so much commitment right there, Mike. What if they're like 15 and just met in youth group and they want to go get coffee?
Day partner.
No, Mike. All of these are bad.
Week partner.
No.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Month partner. No.
No. Stop putting a timetable on it.
Okay. All right. Because that gets rid of flavor of the week.
I feel dirty.
Let's maybe just stick with boyfriend and or significant other.
I guess SHP.
Yeah, I think side hug partner.
Yeah.
Megan, you are now officially my side hug partner.
Yes.
Ride or die.
Get rich or die trying.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So yeah, that was Thanks for that, Mike.
Yes.
Getting me in trouble.
I'm sure there will be no blowback at all.
Oh
from
no,
this.
absolutely not.
No.
And you know what? I'm not that sorry.
You're not that sorry.
I mean, I'm very sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well, any way to trick me into accidentally saying the word for prostitute is time well spent.
But it's like classy prostitute.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
geisha.
Yeah.
Triggered.
I mean, you take them out to Applebee's first.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Buy an appetizer.
Right.
Maybe one of those fancy drinks with an umbrella.
And a coconut.
Yeah, classy.
Classy.
Mm-hmm.
How did we start talking about ladies of the night on our podcast?
Oh,
This is
man.
supposed to be family friendly, Mike.
Yes, we need to talk about men of the morning.
Right. Just, for those of you listening, just delete the last 10 minutes from your minds.
Oh, well, okay, all right. But I really think Men of the Morning sounds like a great accountability group.
Yeah, they go and get breakfast at like Tim Hortons.
Yes.
Um,
It's a group that fights against ladies of the night.
Why fight? Why not?
Or reject, avoid, convert,
encourage?
encourage them not to be ladies of the night.
Yeah.
But then it would be an acronym for MOM. You going to MOM?
I'm mad. Like, very upset.
You're my man of the morning.
Thanks, buddy. That means a lot.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything else? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Well, I'm about to walk into level 5-6 state meet for work.
I don't know what that means.
Well, apparently if you're good at gymnastics, they want to test you in front of the whole state.
Why?
Because then you win shiny medals.
I didn't get the memo for that.
Yeah. Are you good at gymnastics? Because I'm sure you could school half of those 13-year-olds.
I can do a cartwheel.
See? You're halfway there.
That's what I'm saying.
But apparently, now, since I'm hired by this gymnastics group owned by my family, I'll be kind of tied up with that for at least 24 hours.
24 hours?
Yeah, it's a big meet, and I have special gopher skills.
Like coffee getting,
Donut
finding.
Yeah, I can hit the button on the stopwatch.
You're good at finding the chalk.
Yes, I'm a little bit irreplaceable.
Yeah, a little bit. You're irreplaceable in my heart. Mike.
Oh,
Thanks, buddy.
you can't be replaced.
No, you can't. Unreplaceable.
Worship song, Chris Tomlin.
No, we have to write it first, and then
Yes.
Chris Tomlin will take it.
Yes.
I saw this Babylon Bee article where it was just like, they were like, Chris Tomlin's copy-paste quick keys on his keyboard finally wore out.
Yes. That is so true. They're savage, but it's a kind of savageness that we can all appreciate.
Right? That's what I'm saying. They're pretty great. So I don't know, Mike. What do we got planned for this week? We got a pretty stacked pod.
Yeah. I think it's worth noting that I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I haven't seen it yet.
What?
I gotta get on that.
You said that Saturday.
I
you would.
know, and then I was gonna go see it with my family, and they ditched me. They
Oh.
bailed.
See, I have this whole 5 minutes where I discuss passionately what I didn't like, what I did like.
I will endeavor to see it this week, and then we can talk about it next week on the
Okay.
pod. I do apologize.
So my backup movie
Yes.
was at a little place called The Little.
Okay.
It's called Colossal with Anne Hathaway. Because if there's a Will, there's a Hathaway.
Right.
And so, it's got, like, it's the hardest synopsis of a plot, but I'm going to try and explain it in as few words as possible. So it's a coming of age of a 20-something Anne Hathaway
Okay.
who's trying to get her life together.
This is like a CGI Hathaway. Or is it 35 Hathaway pretending to be 20 Hathaway?
Yeah, okay. One of those.
Okay.
You know, she's like in her late 20s.
Right.
Trying to find a boyfriend in her life. She's an alcoholic. She's trying to restart her life, so she goes back to her hometown. And she finds out that there's a monster in Seoul, Korea that's destroying the city of Seoul, Korea.
Okay.
Like this Godzilla thing.
Right.
And she finds out that her movements are actually being mirrored by the monster.
Okay.
From halfway across the world.
Right.
But only when she stands on this playground. So, it's a mix.
Okay.
It's a mix of her life with, abusive friends and, coming of age with this plot of controlling this monster in Korea thrown in. And it's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
At the cost of the lives of people in Korea.
Yes.
And
the
Caleb, you got out. It's fine.
Yes. The movie was excellent. Like, at first you're like, I don't know they're going to be able to do this. But then by the time it all wraps up at the end, you're cheering. You're cheering for Korea. You're cheering for women's rights.
Uh-huh.
And you want Anne Hathaway to win.
Right. I mean, I feel like most movies you want Anne Hathaway to win, except Batman.
Oh. Yes.
And Les Mis.
And Princess Diaries, too.
I take that back. You never want Anne Hathaway to win.
She should be the villain in every movie.
That's what I'm saying.
She should have been the Joker.
Right? She was the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yes.
This wonderful, heartfelt movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so what did you... did you want to just, like, kind of review it? Or did you want to just, like... What did you want to talk about?
So, if you're going to watch it, which I highly suggest.
Okay.
It's rated R, so there's a few F-bombs thrown in.
Okay.
But as you watch the movie, you realize it's not just some weird, quirky monster plot they've thrown in, but it's actually a metaphor for abusive guys in a relationship.
Right.
And how women feel powerless.
Okay.
And how the monster represents Anne Hathaway's ability to defend herself.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. But you kind of pick it up near the end of the movie that's all kind of going to happen. And I won't spoil anything. Just know that those are the key points of the movie.
Right, yeah.
And that alone is worthy of the price.
Of the discussion.
Yes. And I would actually say that if I was in a theater where Guardians of the Galaxy was on the left,
yes,
and Colossal was on the right, I'd go to the right.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You'd go see Guardians of the Galaxy?
Colossal.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But Chris Pratt is in it.
I know.
And there's a talking raccoon.
All the Disney quirks are in that movie, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I need to see it so you can rant and rave.
Yes.
I've been hearing mixed things about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, Colossal. It does sound interesting, and it also sounds like a movie that can only happen in 2017.
2017.
Yeah, like I feel like anytime, any place outside of the current last 5 to 10 years, I feel like it just wouldn't translate.
Weird thing is, it's done by this company called Neon.
Okay.
And you know how Disney would play little short videos before a movie starts? They did the same thing.
Okay.
It was like short videos for adults.
Oh.
Like rated R humor about cell phones and so
Gritty realities?
Yes. Gritty realities.
That's weird.
Yeah.
The adult Disney.
Yes. Disdult. Adult me.
Disney, call us. We got ideas.
Yes.
That's interesting. But yeah, no, I think that leads to an interesting question of, I feel like there's been a trend more recently of shows and movies trending towards making social justice commentaries, especially on mental and physical abuse.
Yes.
And whether you agree with them or not, shows like more recently, have you seen the Iron Fist? Like they definitely do commentary on homelessness and mental issues, and popularly right now 13 Reasons, which is, I see arguments on both sides of the fence for it, but also even in, but you know, like in the movie that you were just talking about, Colossal, like I feel like that's something that's been like trending more recently. And do you feel like this is now maybe the start of like mental health and maybe abuse coming to the forefront, where it's not stigmatized and it's able to be talked about?
You know, that is a good question, because in movies and television, when the character goes to the mental hospital,
right,
you know it's going to be evil and there's going to be mistreatment. There's no movie where you get the right diagnosis of getting the help I need. So I feel like that's always been a cliche in movies. Right. But with that said, I would love a serious fiction discussion about like mental hospitals, which goes into the deeper thing is, can we medicate someone into a cure? Right. I have seen both sides saying yes you can, no you can't. As far as the homeless thing, the only other movie I can think about that talks about homeless is in how Sherlock uses the homeless as his street team to find information.
Haven't you seen what's the Will Smith movie? It's not 7 Pounds, is it?
No.
What's the other one? Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah. Pursuit of Happiness is a pretty good one.
You know, I saw the end of that movie.
Yeah? Just the end?
Yeah.
Of which one?
Of Pursuit of Happiness. Okay. And I saw him finally getting the job. Yeah. And I'm like, man, that movie must start with a real big struggle.
It does.
Okay.
It does. He's kind of homeless with a kid, Mike.
If I'd known that, I'd be a little bit happier for the ending.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. And I think, and hopefully, and obviously, like, a lot of these shows and movies aren't obviously getting mental illness or living with a mental illness or abuse accurately, because obviously it's dramatized, it's a movie, whatever. But I do believe that, like, putting it to the forefront of mainstream consciousness, that, like, conversations can start being had.
Yeah. What I did like is, I believe it's ABC did a drama called Speechless.
Yeah.
With Minnie Driver, and kind of like the star of the show, his name is JJ on the show. Okay. But he's got cerebral palsy. He can't speak, so everyone has to say his lines. Right. But they make him hilarious in the show. Right. And they make him like a superstar. Right. And everyone wants to know JJ, and he knows all these puns, and he's like sassy.
Right, of course he is.
And so, like, I have to say that's a step in the right direction.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, no, I think the more that it's in the public eye and the more that it's talked about, people can then start having intelligent conversations about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I'm trying to think about, like, other disabilities that, like, have they made the television scene? I know Matt Murdock.
He's blind.
Blind, but, you know, he kind of he cheats it.
He kind of has a superpower.
Yeah. Professor Xavier can't walk.
Right. But only sometimes.
Yes.
Only sometimes.
Yeah. I guess you have to be a mutant to be
to get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to Mike. But yeah, no, I think there are various ABC shows that kind of talk about a lot of these issues. I know that there's one where it focuses on deaf culture, and a lot of the actors on the show are deaf, which is really cool. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I know that there is, a while ago, like 10 years ago, there was one about teenage pregnancy, and like a lot of these shows I think are being propagated by ABC, which is good.
Yeah. In Canada, they have an all Asian actor and actress show called Kim's Convenience.
Nice.
Yes.
Is
That's
convenience
big.
is Kim's convenience is convenience spelled with a K?
No.
It should be. Canada, call us.
We have suggestions.
Yes, we do. But no, that's cool. Yeah, and I think that's another thing that's been interesting. Typecasting and making sure that like characters are being portrayed accurately and not like propagating other cultures and making them whitewashed.
Funny thing in Kim Convenience is they have one white person.
Okay.
And she's like the quirky weird one.
Awesome.
And everyone's like, "Oh, you're weird."
Oh, you're weird.
Yes.
That's literally the dialogue.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, what's the show about?
It's about this family that owns a convenience in Toronto.
Like a convenience store?
Yeah, a convenience store. And it's about their Asian culture. And, you know, when my wife watches it, she's like, "That's so true."
And you just don't get it?
Yeah, I'll be like, "Okay, I believe you."
I believe you.
Yeah, and it's about how, you know, how they get around life and do dating, and they have a daughter who's attractive, but you know, the dad only wants him to wants her to date a Korean, so he'll ask like Korean history to her suitors.
Korean man of the morning.
Yes, a Korean man of the morning.
Why'd you all look at me?
Because you're Caleb and you're Korean.
K-Love.
Oh, no.
Triggers.
Trigger.
Ah,
All right.
I'm so angry.
Anyways.
But to go down the disability track,
yes.
you know, I've noticed in a lot of comic books that the most important character is also the character that never can die. He's not fragile at all.
Right.
So when you want to win in Marvel, you send the Hulk.
Right.
When you want to win in DC, you send Superman.
Right.
And there's absolutely no way you can kill them. They keep standing back up. If you were to lose them in the comic book, then all hope is lost.
Right.
But I thought about, what about the most important character on your team being so fragile?
Okay.
That, like, if you were to touch him and he were to die,
Right.
like, but he actually supplies the team in such a crucial way, like either morale,
right,
or leadership,
right.
But you have to be careful because, like, a stray bullet could, like, take him out of the game.
Right, forever.
Yeah.
No, because I feel like in every comic book, it's definitely that. So even characters like, you know, like just talking about like Batman or like Spider-Man, whatever, they're usually pretty invulnerable.
Yeah.
Like they're not invulnerable, but they're pretty invulnerable. Yeah. When those characters do die, like Superman, it becomes like national news. Like they got the Superman. But I think that's an interesting commentary. I think the closest that we can maybe get is maybe like Dr. Xavier.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. Outside of that, I don't really see. Because even like the supercomputer for the Avengers has an Infinity Stone in its head.
Yes,
so like,
that is so strange.
So like, there's no. Yeah, I would like to see that.
Right, and I really like the comic books where like they actually explain that like, you got hit in the leg, you shattered your bone,
right?
You won't be able to walk. And like the realism to that, because other than that, like you have the Civil War movie where, what's her face, Scarlet Witch, she like uses a spell that shoots Black Widow like slamming into a girder.
Right. Yeah.
And she gets knocked out a little.
Right. Slightly unconscious.
Yeah. Like, I want her to be like, guys, I'm paralyzed from the neck down.
Well, I mean, Rhodey, or is it Rhodey? Or, War Machine.
Yeah.
Kind of gets destroyed by Vision, and then he's technically gets paralyzed, but he's fine because of technology. But I think the closest that we can probably get to that conversation in comic book form is, have you read Watchmen?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, so in that, if you haven't read it, I would suggest it, but also understand that it talks about a lot of adult themes. But it's probably the best graphic novel in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But Dr. Manhattan is essentially in the comic book. He's essentially the Superman kind of god figure, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally has control over physics.
Yes.
And he essentially realizes that humanity is worthless, and he leaves.
Yes.
And he goes to Mars, and he starts his own civilization. But that kind of leaves us with the main character, Rorschach, who is fragile. I would argue, because he has no superpowers, is mentally ill, and spends most of the movie, or the comic book and the movie, in prison.
Yes.
So he's got, and he's homeless.
Yeah.
So like he doesn't have whole lot going for him, and he tries to kind of solve this kind of mystery that, I don't want to spoil the plot, but like there's this conspiracy going on. He's trying to solve it, and no one will listen to him because he's mentally ill.
Also, the people in this universe can actually get cancer and die. Like superheroes can.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's very. I feel like Watchmen is the closest that we're gonna get to that conversation.
Yeah, it's true. Now, I've always dreamed of seeing a reimagining of either DC or Marvel that's kind of like Game of Thrones style of carelessness, where you see a superhero like debut, and they're like, I have such high ambitions, I'm gonna save the world, and they get into their first fight, they get shot in the head.
Right.
And they're like, oh, there goes Batgirl.
Right.
Day one.
Right. And it's like from Batman purposely sacrificing her.
Yeah.
Like putting her in a position that can't win. I feel like that would be interesting. And I don't know if DC or Marvel would necessarily be on board with that. But I do like the concept, this kind of idea of because I feel like we don't think that superheroes are expendable. Like we think they're pillars. They're they're essential. They're our mythology, our modern mythology, and we hold them up as
they can fall into
God, little g. Yeah, right. And Black Widow is a human being. She's just a human being.
But she knows ballet.
She gets blasted at 1,000,000 miles an hour to a girder.
Yes.
Totally fine.
Totally fine. A little knocked out.
Right.
A little shaken.
Right. Totally fine. Ant-Man breaks the laws of physics.
Yes.
Comes back totally fine.
Yeah.
To the same universe that he came from.
Yes.
Which, based on string theory, should be impossible.
Yes. I feel like...
But the power of friendship.
Yes. I feel like in the Disney universe, if Ohana means family, it works.
Right.
If it reconciles you with your sister,
it works.
Then it works. Mm-hmm. If it's in your heart,
it works.
It works.
Oh, it definitely works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And not to spoil anything, but Guardians of the Galaxy has a huge believe in your heart moment.
Of course, it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
They defeated possibly one of the strongest villains.
By holding hands.
By holding hands and dancing.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Of course. But anyways. But I mean, I feel like that works for Guardians of the Galaxy, though.
Yeah.
They're kind of quirky, anyways. But anyways.
It could have gone in two directions. It could have been a more Deadpool comedy type show, with more wanton violence and more PG-15 humor.
Right.
They could have gone in that direction, but you see the undertones of Disney in the new one.
Yeah.
Though there's a lot more nether regions jokes. It's weird. You see all these genitalia jokes, but then the power of love and believe in your heart.
It's they're capitalizing on that. They're capitalizing on that 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Marvel is now getting into kind of the same problem that I don't even know if it was whoever made Harry Potter, but the people that kind of grew up with the originals, which were kind of cutesy, white, kind of like, you know, like really clean, whatever. And now that their audience that was there at the beginning is now a little bit older, and now they have to kind of like, okay, how do we keep this audience engaged without losing them?
Yeah.
Because, you know, let's not kid ourselves. Like, they're not making like Civil War or like Avengers for people our age. They're making them for, you know, the 10 to 15-year-olds, 10 to, you know, 16-year-olds. Like, that's the target demo. And they, you know, they're just trying to keep them engaged.
Right.
And I feel like if DC capitalized on the over 15 market, I feel like because I feel like they're kind of in this kind of weird, like,
they're in puberty.
Right, they're like awkwardly there.
Thinking about girls differently.
Right.
Hair in weird places.
Hot flashes.
Hot flash. Wait, what?
What? Wait, what? Just me? But yeah, I feel like if they capitalized on that, they would have a lot more success. And I feel like Suicide Squad had that potential, but then they just kind of awkwardly just like kept it in like this awkward prepubescent stage.
Right. When I noticed when Marvel makes a movie, especially under the new tutelage of Disney, it doesn't end until it comes with that big theme. You know, believe in your heart, we're your true family. You know, love the ones who love you, kind of thing. But with DC, it's like you have a big threat, and let's just keep throwing superheroes at it until it dies. Who cares what you've learned?
Right.
We just wanted to share something with you.
Yeah. But I would push back a little bit and just you've seen Civil War?
Yeah.
I feel like Civil War kind of stands out because I feel like it doesn't end that way. I feel like it does end with a lot of, like, not a lot of hope. And I appreciate that. I think Civil War does a good job of doing that. And I think that was also one of the reasons I wasn't too impressed with Doctor Strange when I saw it. The ending kind of left me feeling like I wanted more of Doctor Strange. I think it started off really well, and it was really like kind of real and gritty, and the character was like compelling because he wasn't like likable, arrogant, like you know, Tony Stark.
Yeah.
He was like actually a jerk arrogant.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, his character is really cool, and then they like kind of made him lame.
Yeah. I there's this one thing that Marvel does in all their movies. It's the foreshadow that's so obvious.
Yeah.
Like when in Avengers, when Captain America says, you know, Tony Stark, would you ever put it all on the line?
Right.
And you're like, oh, Tony Stark's gonna die.
Right.
Or when someone says, no one's ever lived through this blast. Oh, someone's gonna live through this blast.
Right. Or in Ant-Man, when they're just like, oh, the original Wasp went into this other dimension, and I've been searching for her my whole life.
Yes.
Like, well, we're gonna go there.
Yes. So when someone mentions that someone can't do something earlier in the movies, someone's gonna achieve it.
Right. Or my personal favorite in Civil War, when Spider-Man's like, I can't go, I have homework. You know he's going.
Yes.
No one has ever not done something because of homework. Homework has never been a good enough reason.
Would it be hilarious if Tony Stark leaves the apartment and he's like, I guess he has homework.
Right. Sorry guys, it's off. It's off. He has homework.
That would be a great deleted scene.
Oh, that's great. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah.
You want grittiness, I'll give you grittiness.
You want homework?
Right.
We'll give you homework.
By golly, we'll give you homework. That's great. But yeah, I feel like this is a good point to transition into our top 5 list.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Maybe you want to explain
yes,
it, 'cause you're
let's
the
talk about
brainchild
it.
behind
Yes,
this.
I am the child brain. What? The mother brain. So our list today springs out of the fact that I traveled to Erie, Pennsylvania yesterday, and in a road trip fashion, we went to purchase fireworks, which are illicit to buy in New York. So we have to go to PA to buy fireworks, which is kind of weird. We can have them, but we can't buy them.
Can you fire them off?
In seclusion.
Yeah.
It's like a weird catch-22. But anyways, but also in Erie, Pennsylvania is Chick-fil-A, which we don't have those in New York, which is interesting. But I'm always of the camp of it's overrated. It's good, but I feel like it's how good it is to us is because we don't have access to it. Like if we actually had access to it, it wouldn't be that good. But
so wait, you're saying a fried chicken sandwich on a normal bun with pickles doesn't revolutionize your taste buds?
like it's good and it's good quality and it's cheap for what it is, and I appreciate that, and I think it's good. But like people talk about it in hushed tones. They're like, Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
You got Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah. So anyways, so that kind of spurred. While we were there, we kind of had a conversation about it being like a quote unquote Christian restaurant, and then that preceded me to say buildings and companies can't be Christian.
Oh.
Because they're inherently soulless, because they're buildings and companies.
Right.
But that kind of led us to have a conversation about Christians being really excited about people or things that are quote unquote Christian.
Oh gosh. So when I read that, I got that as like 5 concepts or people that excite Christians.
I should have explained it more.
Yes. So I wrote down the 5 silliest things that excite Christians.
Yes.
And so that's what my list is comprised
of.
of.
I mean, like, what do you have? Maybe it does fit.
Well, okay, so it's kind of like what white people like lists.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of what I've written down is kind of that. Like, it's not as serious as I made it out to be. But that was the conversation that spurred me to this.
Yeah.
So, like, what is your first one?
Oh, my first one is worship bridges.
Oh, gosh.
No matter how horrible the song is.
Right.
No matter how mundane the lyrics.
Right.
I mean, it could be E-I-E-I-O.
Right.
But once you get to that bridge, all is forgiven.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I also feel like then that also translates into... have you ever been in like a car and like someone like starts singing a worship song? They never start at the start. They always go right for the chorus or bridge.
The chorus and the bridge.
That's it.
I want a worship album of just bridges.
We make so much money.
Yes. It's called The Bridge to Jesus.
The Bridge to Jesus.
Yes.
Word. Okay, so you have stuff along that lines? Okay, okay. I don't know how we should have made sure that we like talked about this beforehand. We can't have 2 separate lists. Do you want to do? How do we want to do this? Maybe do you want to run through your 5? And then
I'll run through. Okay,
cool.
So this is the 5 things that excite Christians the most.
Right.
1, worship bridges.
Right.
Number 2, when science discovers a negative side effect of a sin. We love that. We love the article that says pornography causes depression. Scientists behind.
Right. I feel like that contributes to like kind of what I was saying.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good.
So whenever we see that article, we get that smug like, yes!
Right.
God knew what he was talking about, and I have proof.
And we needed science to validate it.
Yes.
What Jesus said.
You want me to keep going?
Yes, do it.
All right, so number 3 is pizza. Pizza is its own evangelism plan.
Yeah.
A lot of people's testimony involves pizza.
Right.
And you're not allowed to have joy in youth group unless pizza is involved. Pizza has more theological overtones in youth group than communion. And I don't know how sad that statement is, but it is true.
Right.
Yes. Number 4, sing a Christian rap song on a secular chart.
Yes. See, that's yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whenever you see like Chance the Rapper show up at the Oscars or the Grammys or whatever and say, this is for my Lord.
Right.
You're like, woohoo!
Right.
We infiltrated.
Right.
So we love that. Lecrae on Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
We've arrived.
Right. We're we're being validated.
Yes, we're being validated. Big Brother likes us.
Right.
Yes. And number 5 is when someone semi-popular from secular roots does something Christian.
Yes.
Yes. Like when Katy Perry says, I used to be a Baptist.
Right.
Or, the guy from Love and Death, Welch. That guitarist from Korn. Brian Head Welch, yes. When he says, oh, I used to be in Korn, woo!
Yeah.
Now I'm a Christian, even more woo! Woo!
Right.
We love that.
Right.
Mr. T was in a movie that was Christian.
Right. Or HBK.
HBK. Anyone.
Right. No, for sure.
Much.
No, definitely. So a lot of the things that you were talking about were kind of like what I was looking for. So like you nailed it, Mike. Subconsciously, you knew we had a telepathic link. So my number 5 is have you seen this show on HGTV called Fixer Upper?
Yes.
And the couple is like ambiguously Christian, and they like there's some overtones, but like people talk about it on Facebook all the time.
Yes.
All the time. So yeah, that's my number 5. My number 4, and this will make Caleb really happy, but can you honestly go to a youth group or like a 20-something event and not have 21 Pilots be brought up? Right?
It's got 20 in it.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Did you also know they did Young Life? Who, whatever.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
What?
Yeah. So yeah.
That'd been an awesome worship set.
So yeah. But along those lines, like you were saying, like whenever someone is ambiguously Christian, you're like, yeah. But then we get mad when people like switch for like, we're not a Christian band.
Yes.
We're just Christian. When you get mad, you're like, you're so cool.
Knife in the back.
Right.
You were my hope.
Right. You betrayed us.
Yes.
But yeah, the next one is like kind of like a catch-all for like Christian athletes.
Yeah.
But it was like obviously like the Tim Tebows, the Steph Currys, like people like that. They're like, oh, he's Christian, I have to like him.
Yes. Genuflex when he does a touchdown.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so that was that. And then my next one is Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Yes.
Why do they like Chick-fil-A so much? Probably because they play Caleb.
Yes. Oh, and if you check the bottom of the wrapper, there's like
is there a verse?
Bible verse.
Yeah, yes.
They don't open on Sundays.
Right.
So I guess Hobby Lobby we can get excited about too.
Lobby. Yeah, chains and stuff like that. But like I don't know, it just makes me mad. Like it's a business. Like it can't like. And then that leads me to my number 1, and that's America. Christians get super pumped about America being a Christian nation, and
oh yes,
and like I don't know. I've had many conversations, but like again, this idea that people have souls, people can be Christian, people can follow Christ, and as individuals, whereas we can't necessarily say like my house is Christian. Well, Christians can live in your house, but your house can't be Christian.
Yes. Now I would argue, put a little caveat.
Yes.
Businesses can have a vision.
Yes.
And that vision can be from the Lord.
Sure.
And that is, I'd say that's a plus. I'd say it wouldn't hurt more businesses if they all had that.
Right. No, for sure. But I would then argue. I would say then like it's the people running the business that are Christian, that have Christian morals, that have Christian, that have a Christian vision, not necessarily the business.
Right.
And so, but I think people kind of confuse the two.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I wholeheartedly, or they blindly just support something because it's like, oh, it's Hobby Lobby, oh, it's Christian, so I'll fight to the death for it.
I'll tie it to them.
Right, exactly. Oh, they'll put it up on a pedestal. And
yeah.
Be like, this is superior to other things because...
It's true. And going back on that America thing...
Yes.
those conservative Christians, was it Franklin Graham?
Yeah.
Just saying, our president is the one Christians have been waiting for.
Right.
Like the true Christian that we couldn't wait to have.
Right, exactly.
And it's just like, Franklin Graham, are you going to ask to sit at his right hand?
Right. Exactly. And it's like, yeah. And yeah, it's just funny to me that like it's that way. And whether you fall on the left or the right, like they're holding up political views and then trying to validate them through the Bible.
Yeah.
And that's not what it's about.
Yeah. I mean, both sides had it. When I remember like people posting up pictures of Jesus raising up Bernie Sanders on his shoulders.
Yes. It's so great.
High-fiving Trump.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think this list was more of just a frustrating lash out for me, being like, stop it.
Yeah. It's true. It's like any subculture you get excited about. I mean, look at the Harry Potter culture.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We get the Harry Potter business.
Right.
Yeah, we're so excited, put it on a pedestal.
Right.
Like, this song about Harry Potter just made it on the top 40 list. Let's sing the Harry Potter bridge.
Right, exactly.
Harry Potter.
I don't actually know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Is that a real thing?
I'm sure there's a Harry Potter worship song. In fact...
Not in my church.
Not in my church. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the Harry Potter hymnal book. How great thou magic.
I feel like that was heretical.
Yes.
We're gonna have to stone you now, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that was my list for the day. I'm sorry if I got charged.
Woo, get off that soapbox.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Give it back to Caleb. He needs soap.
Are you saying he needs to wash?
He's been begging for an hour.
So speaking of soapboxes, I heard that there's someone that is currently on one that has to talk to us about a certain client.
Client?
Yeah, of theirs that we've currently...
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah.
We can't keep dodging him, Mike.
No. He's actually waiting outside with a protest sign. So, long story short, we named a drug after Ariana Grande. Or, actually, our good Johnny Vegas.
Johnny Vegas.
That rock star that he is.
Yes.
Might have named her and said that it's a drug. And then we made it an inside joke.
And then we made the item.
And apparently Ariana Grande is a huge fan of this podcast. Was. Until we started to abuse her name. So now we got angry letters from her lawyer. And now her lawyer's going to be here to kind of reprimand us. Yes. Or mainly me, because I'll be speaking up against him.
Right. I don't do really well with confrontation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go hide.
Okay.
I'm going to go let him in, I guess, and then...
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, Ariana Grande's lawyer.
My name is Max the Third.
Max the Third.
Max the Third.
Max the Third. Okay, well, it's great to have you here. And I wish it was in better situations.
Well, it couldn't be better for me and my client. We're very happy to take this podcast for all it's worth.
Oh, well, that's very smug of you. Do you think you're going to get money from this? Because we don't actually make money, sir. Max.
Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
So it's my understanding that you've slandered my client.
It just kind of happened. We needed a buzzword. We got a buzzword. Ariana Grande. It sounds like a Starbucks menu item.
Yes. Well, I'm sure I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm only allowed out of my little cubicle, once every 5 days for legal matters such as this. They don't call me lawyer on retainer for nothing. But I assure you that this matter will be taken to the utmost of legal law.
Okay. You're sounding very ominous.
This is just my normal speaking voice. I'm sorry, Mike. I don't mean to shout.
Well, understood. Understood. The shouting needs to stop.
I'll try and be contained. I'm just really passionate about my client. She's wonderful.
Why don't you tell us how Ariana Grande feels?
Well, she, to my knowledge, she really appreciated your show before this. She said you were funny, and she said that Adam guy was pretty cute.
Naturally.
She really appreciated the fact that you brought clean comedy to the masses, and
she seems like she'd like that.
Yeah, and she really started getting into your Let's Plays and various other social media sites.
Yeah.
And then one day you interviewed a certain Johnny Vegas.
Yes.
And it all went downhill from there.
And have you spoken to Johnny Vegas, or do you want to just go straight to the podcast and blame them?
Our problem is we can't seem to find Johnny Vegas.
He is elusive.
It's almost like he's a fictional character.
No, I wouldn't go that far. He's as real as you or me.
I can assure you, Mr. Mardanga, that I'm very real, and we've spent a lot of money trying to find this Johnny Vegas, and we cannot contact him. So we're here to, one, make sure that reprimands are made, and two, reach out to Johnny Vegas and bring him to court and ultimately to justice.
Oh, wow, that sounds vicious, but why take it out on just two innocent young men who are using your client's name as a buzzword and as a drug?
Well, I feel like it's going, in conversations with my client, we found that ultimately where her distaste comes in is the fact that she's not tried the drink herself, and she would very much like to be on your podcast.
Wow, that's a switch. Here I thought I was going to get yelled at.
I have been yelling, Mike.
Well, here I thought it was going to go in a negative way. We were going to talk about, you're going to throw the book at us.
No, it was more so the fact that she really feels disappointed. Not angry, disappointed.
Disappointed. So we've broken Ariana Grande's heart. I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, like I said, she was big fans of you guys, and really, this is just a cry for help. She just wants to be part of the fun.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we're very easy to contact, and we haven't had a guest who's made over $100,000. So couldn't she just send us an email? Why did she have to sue us? I mean, there's a subpoena on my desk.
You felt like things had escalated to the point where legal action had to be taken.
Do I really have to pay this $40,000?
You do, Mike.
Oh gosh.
But in all fairness, all she wants to do is sue you for your podcast and then take over the podcast and make it her own.
Yes.
So you'll still keep your job, Mike.
Okay, right.
She's a reasonable person.
Yeah. She sounds like a very reasonable person. But can I just read the subpoena?
Sure.
You said, damages to my client, including psychological and physical. She is very depressed. She is very disappointed.
Yes.
She has very hurt feelings.
Yes.
And she is laying down, swaying side to side.
True.
I mean, I didn't know that hurt her so bad.
Yeah, it was less about the maybe the defamation, but more so about the personal pain of loss, of once being so in love with the show to now being a running joke, and she wanted to be a part of it, but almost as in your experience of playgrounds growing up, Mike, feeling excluded. Right. She also feels excluded and wants to be a part of this podcast in a positive way instead of a reference for drugs.
Absolutely. In fact, further down the line, it says that this is going to be a problem and that she's not that into us anymore. That she wants to break free from this negativity. And she wants us to focus on someone else just one last time.
So you know how all these starlets are, like Taylor Swift,
yes,
Katy Perry. A lot of what they say is just for show, and she really does still like you guys, but she also sees this as a PR opportunity to create some buzz.
Yes.
So
this is why she put her songs in every part of the subpoena.
exactly, and she's definitely doing so in hopes of creating some revenue for the show, which she does really appreciate. But have you ever heard of the term frenemy, Mike?
Yes, I've had many.
I'm sure you have.
All women.
Does not surprise me.
Yes.
But this is the kind of relationship that she wants going forward, and it seems it's you're gonna have a lot of mixed signals, I believe, in the coming future. But you know how these starlets are.
Yeah, she sounds like a dangerous woman.
She's very dangerous. Yeah.
And she's gonna break our heart right back.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of the beast, Mike. It's show business.
So, is there anything we can do to apologize and lighten our sentence?
I do believe if you reach out and offer for her to be on the podcast, I believe that she might respond favorably.
All right, Ariana, this is for you, honey. We love you. We care about you. We never meant to hurt you. You have a great career, a great future ahead of you, and you're more than welcome to be on our show. You're not a drug. You're a woman, and we love you. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. Now if you could point me the way out of this place.
All right, yes.
I have a lunch meeting.
Yes, of course you do. Here, can you take your subpoena?
Actually, that's for you.
Darn it!
And,
foiled again.
And I will see you later, Mike.
All right.
Okay. Good meeting.
Good meeting, everybody. Well, folks, that didn't go so bad.
What happened, Mike?
Well, we owe $40,000, and Ariana Grande owns our show.
I'm not surprised.
Not surprised. I knew she'd go in that direction.
Are we at least gonna get one sweet interview out of it?
You know, I made that plea.
Yeah.
And I really hope she listens.
That's what I'm saying. And
we both have a lot in common. She was...
You and Ariana Grande?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was on a Nickelodeon television series. I watched Nickelodeon as a kid.
Shoot.
She did a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
I live in New York. So, we're practically soulmates. Minus the fact that I have a wife.
Minus the fact that...
Small S soulmates.
How do you not get in trouble for these things, Mike?
It's a stream of consciousness thing. It works for our president.
Right.
Yes.
Works for our president, works for me.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So, yeah, that was... So good interview, Mike?
Yeah, that was a great interview.
Man, I'm shocked.
It was only awkward for two of us.
Oh, there were only two of you in the room, Mike.
Exactly.
Perfect. Well, yeah, hopefully Ariana Grande, you heard, I'm sure Mike did a great job of, one, asking for your forgiveness, and two, asking you to be on our show, and I guess I'm going to take my opportunity to say, come on the show, it'll be great, we'll consume your creation of
yes.
And have some laughs.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
Absolutely. So speaking of which, do we have time for a game, or do we need to go to the snack?
Yes, we do.
So, I found a fun game, and that is thinking of catchphrases for Rochester.
Okay.
Why it's fun is because when I'm with my wife Lynn, who's big from big city Toronto,
right,
and her just comparing everything,
right,
you hear a lot of why is this closed? Why can't I eat at midnight?
Right.
Why is there only 6 people in this restaurant?
What? I love that that's an observation.
Yes.
Why are there only 6 people here?
Yeah. So you get a lot of that because in Toronto, people come in floods. There's lines out the door. So it made me think of we gotta think of some catchphrases to get people to go to Rochester, but we don't want to oversell it.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I come to Nick Tahoe's, it's not that busy.
Yes. Or the city that never sleeps past 8 a.m. Kind of like that. So if we could think of some catchphrases for our hometown Rochester, we're a sleepy little town that forgot that it has a life.
I don't know about that, Mike. I feel like there's a whole lot hopping downtown. I don't know. How often you go exploring, but
well, it's kind of like the metaphor for
yes,
an ant thinks a human is big. But a human thinks a shark is big. Just like a Rochesterian thinks our downtown is hopping. While a Torontonian is on a rooftop drinking golden champagne with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's from New York. I don't know. Why would he be in Toronto? Maybe Drake would be more
Maybe
of
Drake.
Drake
Yes.
is more of the
Yes.
And no, definitely. I think that, and I agree. I think that, like, Toronto definitely, obviously, and, like, cities like that are definitely have a lot going on, but I will always fight to the death.
Yeah, you know what?
Rochester.
Rochester Pride is where it's at. I grew up. I was raised here. I'm trying to get Lynn's friends to come here because you can get like a house for nickels on the dollar.
It's true.
Our fruit is like almost free.
Right.
Yeah,
And giving it
$1.
away.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're a sleepy little town. We're Toronto Junior.
What?
Yes.
I think Buffalo's more Toronto.
Yes.
Junior.
Yes. We're like Toronto's,
We're like
non-related cousin.
Or like everything Buffalo wishes it could be.
Yes.
Take that, Buffalo.
Right. Reliant K should be coming here.
I mean,
They
they
did.
did. They
Yes.
didn't go to Buffalo.
I took my brother there to see them in Buffalo, and I'm like, oh, Buffalo's so cool. They got Reliant K. But back to the situation.
Anyways, yeah.
Rochester catchphrases.
Rochester
City that never
catchphrases.
sleeps past 8 a.m.
Right. I don't know though. I feel like I'm always going to bed. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck in this. I go to bed at like. I'm sorry. Never sleeps past 8 a.m.
City of motherly love.
What is our actual catchphrase?
Discover Ontario? No, that doesn't sound right.
No, that's not right at all. The gateway to the west. What?
Yes. The Golden City.
Rochester. You rest up before Buffalo.
Yes. Almost livable. I went on a website called truevibes.com. No, livable vibes, city vibes, some vibes.
Something.
And we got a score of almost livable.
Almost, not quite.
Almost livable because we got an F in crime.
Yeah, we did.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Well, that depends on where you live, but whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But Rochester. We wouldn't
almost
exist
livable.
without... Almost livable.
Yeah.
Rochester. We wouldn't exist without the Erie Canal.
Yeah. Or Rochester. If you've ever seen a movie, thank Kodak.
Rochester. Parts of Spider-Man were filmed here.
Rochester. We still have 6 jobs left.
Downtown's pretty fun as long as you're on Park and East.
Yes. 2 streets of fun. That should be our motto.
2 streets of fun.
Rochester. It would be an honor to mug you here.
Rochester, there's an arts festival every other weekend.
Yes. Rochester, a good place to see mediocre improv.
Rochester, mediocre.
Rochester, mediocre.
Mediocre. Hey, we're not terrible.
Right. Rochester, where you can eat fish from Lake Ontario twice a month.
Yes. Rochester, thrivish.
Thrivish. Oh, man. Rochester, not the one in Minnesota.
Rochester. It sounds like rock.
Rochester. It's okay.
Rochester. Some local bands.
Some local bands.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about Wegmans?
Yes, you've heard about Wegmans. Rochester. Bill Cosby once did a commercial about Kodak.
It's so specific.
Yes.
Rip Kodak.
Rip Kodak.
Yeah.
Kodak's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got so much money from the Star Wars films.
Star Wars
that's
and
good.
hipsters.
Yeah. But I think they're making a comeback because, they were destroyed by the digital camera companies.
Right.
But now they're making a portable digital CAT scan.
Interesting.
So I think that's going to put them back on the market.
Back on the market. That's what I'm talking about. Rochester, David Bowie got arrested here once.
Yes, we did.
Oh, we did arrest him?
We did arrest him.
It's pretty funny.
Rochester, Sick Puppies plays here every 5 years.
Every 5 years.
Rochester, home to the garbage plate.
Home to the garbage plate. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. The only place where obesity is legal.
What? That doesn't even...
Rochester, old money, new poverty.
Oh, that was... Oh, man. That's savage.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. Rochester, we almost have yoga for dogs.
We almost... What?
It's almost a thing.
Oh, man. That's pretty great. Man, I'm trying to work a Frederick Douglass one in,
Yes.
but I can't justify it. And Susan B.
Too.
Yeah.
They're buried here.
Rochester,
Where civil rights comes to be buried. What?
When civil rights comes to die.
I didn't want to say die because that's pretty awful. It's pretty bad.
Rochester, we freed the slaves from women voters.
What? I'm so confused. That's great. Let's see. Rochester, we got a couple malls.
Rochester, half of everything that makes your city great.
What are we missing? Infrastructure.
Asians.
Hey.
No, it's true. Every country that every city that has a high population of Asians has great restaurants. Case in point, San Francisco, Toronto, Ithaca.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
West Alabama.
What?
Yes.
But yeah, no, that was certainly something.
That was a great brainstorming session. I'm talking to you, lovely Warren. That's our mayor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, where are we on our podcast?
I think it's time to consume
all
the
right.
disgustingness that you brought forth.
So, I didn't even plan this, but this is the third Korean reference I'll make.
Sure you didn't. You've made multiple Korean references today.
Yes, multiple. But I got a little drink called Crunch Crunch Pear from a great Korean supermarket.
It's not real.
Mm-hmm. There's real juice in here.
Oh.
There's really 28 grams of sugar.
What's a Crunch Pear?
Oh, I don't know. It's a juice. It's cold.
It makes the heaty go away?
It makes the heaty go away. I'm pretty sure they just photoshopped an orange.
Yeah, right.
On the
I
cover.
made it pear shape.
Made it pear shape. Yeah. So, I don't know if you want to swig some.
Yes.
We're going to try some Crunch Crunch pear juice.
Yes, I'm excited. Give it a sniff.
Now, the squid flavor might throw you off a bit.
It smells like exactly what you think it's not.
What did you think it's not?
I thought it was gonna smell like orange juice.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna smell like something, but it smells. It smells like, if the people that made Smarties were told to make a healthy juice.
It smells like another Big Lots failed idea.
It's sweet. It's really clear. It's clear. Why is the juice clear?
It's clear.
Does it have...
Maybe it's crushed pears? Is it pure pear juice? Or is it concentrate?
Does it have, like, bits in it?
Oh, I haven't gotten that far.
They're like, there's like, bits in it, like...
Yeah.
Fruit bits.
I mean, and that Asian cuisine loves chopping up stuff and putting it in your drink.
Right. You know what it actually does taste like?
What?
It's actually pretty good. I really do appreciate that. That was really good. But it tastes like a Korean version of the Capri Sun. Right? Try it, dude. Get you some.
Wow.
Right?
It's got like that Capri Sun
Right.
sugar blast.
Right. Right.
But then it has like this twang at the end.
Right. Right.
Twang or tang?
Twang.
A twangy tang.
A twangy tang.
It's almost like someone put fruit flavored plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, in there.
Exactly. Like, it's not bad. Like, I'd drink the crap out of that.
Right.
That's
I'd bring it to a youth group.
Right. I feel like that's a really good summer beverage. Like,
Yeah.
stick that in a mason jar with some ice.
Yeah.
Put an umbrella in there.
Can you tell your friends we need to go to the Crunch Crunch Pear Bar?
Right. That's enough. Like, that's the thing. That's a hit.
Yeah. So, anyways, I have a long list of your likes and don't likes.
And,
I'm just setting this up for an ultimate birthday party surprise.
oh boy, we got a couple months for that.
Yeah.
But yes.
A table filled with Crunch Crunch Pear.
When's your birthday, Mike?
Next Wednesday.
Is it really?
Yes.
Hey, that's great. We'll do something on the pod.
Yes. And the only gift you could ever give me is liking or subscribing.
Or getting the actual Ariana Grande to
Yes.
be on our podcast.
Or maybe a little amazing vid
Yes.
comment.
Yes.
Not from a robot.
Awesome bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, next week. I knew it was coming up, Mike. I knew it was coming up.
It's coming up, and I don't know what I'm going to do, because I'm still like a kid. I think we gotta have my family party, then my kid party,
And then my friend party.
my friend party.
Yeah.
I hope everyone brings me toys. Rectangle boxes must go.
Must go. No rectangle boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah. What did you learn today, Mike?
Well, I learned that your trigger point is calling anything but a human Christian.
Right. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, because God didn't say, the businesses are my portion. He said the people.
Yes.
The people are my portion.
But I just bought this whole line of Christian TVs.
Triggered.
Yes. What did you learn?
I learned that Ariana Grande lawyer. Well, that wasn't even English.
Lawyer is like warrior and lawyer.
Lawyer is actually pretty reasonable.
He's reasonable.
And he thinks he's shouting, but he's really monotone.
Yeah, and he gave us Ariana Grande.
Right.
We're rich.
We're rich, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we still have to pay them $40,000.
Yes, but the revenue we'll make having her on this show.
Right. That
will be great.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, join us next time for the actual Ariana Grande.
Yes. And I think our good friend Kurt Cameron's gonna stop by.
That is
and
true.
Read us our horoscope.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm mad.
Plus, early 90s Rebecca St. James might show up.
Oh my god.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll have something else to apologize for.
Yes, and I apologize for calling all the women
Oh yeah.
courtesans, women of the night,
Yes.
men of the morning.
Yes.
But if you're looking to start an accountability group, Men of the Morning, I'm right here.
Right. Tell us. Spicy. Yeah, that was Dreams and Feelings. 38.
38.
Like and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
We love you.
Love you too. Amen.
I didn't turn it off yet, Mike.
Oh, man.
Okay, bye.